You guys, how could you? The gaming industry was thriving. We had reached peak innovation. Between all the generic Souls-likes coming out and amazing gems like Assassin's Creed Shadows, man, we were eating good. There was no need for this, and yet you let them in. You let the Gunners sit at the table. You let people like me sit here. Unbelievable. Oh, hi. Shape here, also known in the streets as GoonerGod69. Thanks for the chair. I just squeeze in right here. Yeah, thanks. Scoot over a bit? Perfect. Great. Hey, you guys play Stellar Blade yet? I did, and I'm here to yap about it. Welcome to my channel, by the way. I do this a lot. So anyway, I played Stellar Blade, and I'll be honest, I was gonna be happy staring at pixelated fan service for a few hours before going back to an actually great game, but you know what? That actually great game was here all along. It was the friends we made along the way, in skimpy outfits. It was Stellar Blade. Man, when I first saw Stellar Blade, my cynical gamer brain immediately thought, no weapon variety? One ugly looking sword? I had doubts. Serious existential doubts. Sure, it's got a strong focus on parries, but I mean, we've all played Sekiro. And what is it supposed to be? Sekiro with boobs? Yes, yes it is. You absolute fool, of course it is. And it's absolutely worth playing. But Sekiro with Stellar Blade is more than that, much more. See, parry slop is becoming pervasive in the culture of action games. Some people hate this, but these people have poor taste. The raw, unadulterated dopamine hit of a perfect block is, was, and always will be unrivaled. That's why games get built entirely around the mechanic. You know it, I know it, the devs definitely know it, which is precisely why they threw in a healthy mixture of unblockable attacks too. Meaning, boys and girls, the game forces you to dodge those. And that's something that elevates Stellar Blade's combat from mere Gunnar excellence to divine Gunnar art. It rips it away from being pure parry slop, and you are constantly forced to dynamically mix up your defenses, and it's a beautifully balanced system. You've got these razor-sharp deflections, the ghost-like dodges, and then you've even got multiple skills that guarantee stagger on enemies, even bosses. That makes fights never truly feel one-sided. It always feels like you're in on the dance, and you can also dictate the rhythm. And that, my friends, is something I deeply appreciate, especially after recently playing certain Elden Ring DLC bosses, where, for instance, you're literally just at the mercy of a certain promised concert's 20-hit combo before you can get one hit in and then rinse repeat. It is an obnoxious way to play. It is a test of patience no one asked for, with all of the fun surgically removed. Stellar Blade says, nah, we respect your time, your sanity, and your eyeballs. Especially your eyeballs. Have you seen some of these outfits? Speaking of combat, for me, one of the major make or break factors in any action game is the quality of its boss fights. I've had incredible games ruined by frustratingly poorly designed bosses that felt like a fun tax. Oh, you're enjoying this game. Here, have a slog of a boss fight to drag you kicking and screaming from that high you're experiencing. Fortunately, Stellar Blade, against all odds, not only avoids that pitfall, but elevates bosses into a genuine highlight. There's a solid amount of variety here, both visually and mechanically. These aren't just palette swaps. Okay, some are, but for the most part, these are distinct, terrifying, and even beautiful, hi Raven, creatures designed to test your limits. And as I mentioned, you have a wonderfully solid toolbox of abilities at your disposal, which ensures these brutal battles maintain an even back and forth, give and take dance. This doesn't mean they're easy, mind you. Some bosses will absolutely run you over and overwhelm you if you're not on your A game. My personal pet peeve in boss fights are boss fights that severely limit player freedom or agency, where basically there's only one correct way to handle them, if that makes sense, and trying anything else just turns the fight into a miserable, soul-crushing grind. Stellar Blade never has that issue. There is one boss fight that gives me slight promised concert vibes where you have to constantly weather relentless combos before sneaking in a few hits, but even there, those moves are well telegraphed. It's not a poorly designed fight at all, with AoEs tacked onto every swing. It is a fight that simply demands your full attention and forces you to utilize all the mechanics you've been taught to that point. Still, it's not my style, but I respect it enough. Combat aside, let's briefly talk about the world and exploration in Stellar Blade. Honestly, I've found it great overall. You're traveling this apocalyptic but beautiful landscape. It's mostly linear, but there are open areas, and those areas are pretty expensive. And even besides those, every zone is packed with details and lore and power-ups and outfits to find, all accompanied by an absolutely stellar, get it, stellar soundtrack that perfectly sets the mood. Basically, you're never at a loss of something to do or find as you wander around. My one singular soul-crushing complaint: the desert. Oh my goodness, the desert. Early on, you will gain access to this very sandy hellscape, and you will spend an unfortunate, soul-draining amount of time there, especially if you're like me and want to vacuum up every single collectible. You could easily lose a few hours, and that desert, paired with that specific music choice, will slowly, painfully numb your brain. Mine's is still recovering even. That song, even now, is looping in a part of my brain, and I'm just thankful that you can wear 2B's outfit to change the track that plays in the desert. Oh my god. But desert aside, many of the places you visit are genuinely interesting and packed with atmosphere so thick you can cut it with Eve's blade. Without spoiling anything major, if you're a Dead Space or Resident Evil fan, certain parts of this game will absolutely shine for you. They don't just nail the eerie, claustrophobic vibe, they act like they invented it. Now, the story. Let's be real. It's kind of all over the place. The main story beats, to be frank, can be a little vanilla. You might actually find it hard to get invested in Eve as a character, which is wild considering she's the protagonist. It's like her personality was designed by a committee that was afraid of sharp edges. But then, almost ironically, you'll find yourself unexpectedly attached to lesser, seemingly minor characters like Inya or Sue, for example. Those characters don't just pop, they explode with personality, unlike Eve. The game also heavily employs environmental storytelling and lore dumping through codex entries you can find scattered throughout the world. And to be honest, a lot of that hidden lore and environmental storytelling is actually more compelling than the main narrative itself. It's genuinely interesting if you can be bothered to read and not just stare at other things on screen. I'm not judging. Lastly, replayability. I am a massive Neo fan, specifically Neo 2. It is my all-time favorite action game. A big reason for that is its post-game that just keeps going and going. I deeply appreciate games that offer substantial reasons to keep playing beyond a single clear. Fortunately, Stellar Blade aligns with this mindset and I appreciate them for it. This is all to say that, basically, this is not a one-and-done game that will leave you and your wallet feeling empty after the credits roll. Clearing the game once unlocks a new game plus difficulty, and you can either carry over all of your progress, or if you're feeling really bold, start a fresh run into that challenging new setting. The game boasts a massive variety of outfits that you can unlock, some of which are exclusively hidden behind New Game Plus, just waiting for you to grab. And to add to all that, there's multiple endings, which can provide further incentive for replay. Combine all that with the incredibly solid action that it delivers, and this makes Stellar Blade a strong recommend from my point of view. It's a great game where the Coners finally get a respectable, genuinely good action game that's more than just eye candy, and I love that for us. And that's it. That's my deep dive into Stellar Blade. It's been a little too long since I just sat down and made a video like this, but Stellar Blade absolutely earned it. I actually intended for this channel to be me yapping about games that I played, and this is me attempting to get back to those roots. Let me know what you think. And if you enjoyed this yap session about Stellar Blade, hitting that like button tells YouTube and me that you want to see more content like this. Same for the comments, even if it's just a cool video, bro, helps the channel way more than you might think. Lastly, if you want to see more of my questionable gaming decisions in action, I stream daily. You can catch me live on Twitch and YouTube. I'm probably streaming right now. Link is in the description. And as always, thanks for watching. Love you. Peace.